happening, guys? Chris, VA Travels. I'm down here in Smyth County, Virginia, almost on the southern border, not too far outside of the town of Marion, and I'm going to visit Mountain View Plantation, also known as the Octagon House, or I should say what's left of Mountain View Plantation. Yeah, but a building with some really interesting architecture. As you see, octagon-shaped house. Oh, and before I get going, I want to give a shout out to a new Patreon subscriber, Marty Courtney. Appreciate your support, sir. And yeah, I'm just going to walk around. As you see, it's boarded up. So just going to fly my drone around, read some of these plaques, and show this place off. I'll tell you, first off, it was built 1858. And a lot of buildings built in the 1850s and 1860s are built in that Italianate and Italian villa style, but yeah, this one is definitely interesting. Just a brick octagon building, and it was built by a guy named Abijah Thomas, A-B-I-J-A-H. A little bit of a unique name, and he was a big player here in Smyth County. I'll give you a little information on him before I walk around, and here he is. And you see he's got his Amish beard going on right there. Kind of interesting, kind of bow tie looking thing going on in his top hat. And right here is his wife Priscilla. Yeah, this thing was only lasted about a decade, but I'll show you some old pictures. And he owned many properties in the area. Probably the biggest one is Holston Mills, which is about a mile, or was a mile west of here. And to tell you a little bit about the architecture, it looks like the whole thing's being held up by this giant stud in the middle. So I guess if you saw that, and half the thing will fall like a deck of cards, I guess. One interesting fact I'll tell you off the top, he is a descendant of a guy named Stephen Thomas, and he was on a voyage, a 1609 voyage to Jamestown. And if you guys are familiar, it's the voyage where they actually became shipwrecked on the way over here and landed in Bermuda. Yeah, a storm caused them to they didn't capsize, but they were shipwrecked on the island for about 9 months. They had to take the ship apart, and they built 2 ships out of that ship and then continued on to Jamestown. How crazy is that? Yeah, so, and then to add to it, years later, he found out his wife died. He went back to England and then came back over on the Mayflower up there to Massachusetts. And he was a signer of the Mayflower Compact. You can pause and read. So that's just a pretty crazy story. And William Shakespeare's writing The Tempest is reportedly based on him and his experience in that shipwreck. So yeah, kind of an interesting story I just wanted to tell you about. Something else pretty neat. He had a descendant named Thomas Thomas. Yeah, there he is right there, Thomas Thomas, and his mother's name was Freelove Cole Thomas, and she's the one that came up with the name Marion. And Marion, Virginia is named after Francis Marion, the swamp fox from the American Revolution. It's the one who Mel Gibson's character in The Patriot is loosely based on. Yeah, so just some interesting stories, but he was a big player, really kind of built the area up, because he ran this place as a plantation, but he also started up that Holston Mills, started up an iron foundry, a tannery. Yeah, so several things. He owned properties all around, going all the way out to Alexandria, Virginia. He owned a cotton mill out in Alexandria, Virginia. And as I said, the place was only in its prime. It was built in 1858, but Civil War pretty much decimated it. The Union Army had destroyed some of his properties. I know that that iron furnace, slavery ended. And then so this property was reduced in size. He fell on hard times. He ended up dying here in 1876. After that, it fell into the hands of many different owners. Then eventually, at one point, it was used as an apartment building. It was used to store cotton, to store apples at one time. I believe to store tobacco also, I had read. Yeah, just kind of a standard brick pattern, but this is after the Flemish bond brickwork was in vogue. And there would have been several outbuildings that I'm sure well, about that time, I'm not sure if they would have had an outdoor kitchen. I know they had an internal kitchen. There were 10 bedrooms inside, I can tell you. At one point, you would have had slave cabins. And there's a dilapidated building on the other side, but I don't think that would have been a slave cabin. Slave cabins would have been a little further out. That's kind of just the quick story on the Octagon house. But you can imagine in its prime, it was really a really nice building. And there is a group, a foundation trying to restore it. You can hop online if you want some more information. You see they're working on this wall. And you see what a great view we have on this knoll here. You see the mountains in the background. Oh, and I can tell you this place is supposedly haunted because there was a room inside where he supposedly had slaves shackled to the wall. So I don't know what's up with that crazy story. But luckily, I guess slavery only 1858 it was built, so it was over by the early 1860s. And yeah, this I'm thinking was probably a smokehouse or something, just the way it's shaped. But you see that it's okay. So there's some bricks. Okay, looks like we have a foxhole maybe down here. But yeah, this building's done. You see a gas pump over here that's kind of random. And obviously, of course, a big old barn. And yeah, this house looks like it's 20th century. So could be, I can tell you, that chimney, it's newer brickwork. And you see a power line or phone line. I guess you could go in there if you were adventurous. I'm not going to. And you see it on the doorknob there, the line hanging. All right, let me just check out this barn. So well, it's a really big barn that's seen better days, but check it out. I'm not going to go in there, but I'll just stand right here. And this is a Granville by Pontiac. Okay, big old hoopty. Okay, back there it looks like a tractor, kind of falling apart. Some farm equipment. Anyway, so yeah, it's the inside of the barn. Yeah, let me go over and look at this old gas pump. Glass must be full. Joel Barco, a calcometer, and it contains lead. You had a light right there, it looks like. Yeah, so I guess the nozzle's down there. Well, here's the back of it. Here's some information on the preservation project if you want to pause and read. And yeah, I know some of you guys like looking at floor plans. So yeah, here's the roof. And those 4 internal chimneys, and they're not really symmetrical. That's kind of interesting. I didn't realize they're a little mismatched. All right, so the second floor and master bedroom, okay, all the bedrooms, of course, up here, a nursery. Yeah, bedroom. Okay, oh, promenade deck. So, yeah, I'm sure you would add a nice view standing on that. And then the first floor, okay, so there was that internal, that winter kitchen, breakfast, parlor, another bedroom, living room, dining room. Cool, all right. Pretty neat. Alright guys, that's my little video on Mountain View Plantation. Just kind of a neat little find. I wanted to show this place off. So I'm going to try and fly my drone. It's a little windy, but I'll see if I can make it happen. And yeah, I'm going to get out of here. So as always guys, like and subscribe. See you on the next one.